Good afternoon. We're right at 2:00 p.m. Eastern, our start time. So go ahead and begin, and we'll begin. I'm Jason Thomas, Portfolio Coordinator with America Makes, and I'll be your host for today's America Makes Summer 2022 Project Call Announcements Kickoff Webinar. So let's go ahead and get started. Just a couple of notes before we begin. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the presentation. So if you do have any questions, please enter them in the Q&A space on your WebEx screen, and we'll try and get all of those answered at the end of the presentation. Also, this will be recorded, and the recording will be available on the America Makes website on our project call page. All right, first we're going to start off with our 2022 open project call. This is going to be a one-step response, so there won't be any white paper. It will be a full proposal. It is a shortened proposal response, just like the last couple of open calls and RICs. We do have 6 topics, 5 technical and 1 EWD. And a very important note is that any team members receiving government funding must be America Makes member. So any information, data, outcomes, or anything like that has to be firewalled from non-America Makes members if they are on the team or if they are, giving materials or anything like that. So they have to be firewalled from the monthly meetings and everything like that. All right, moving on to our topics. So we tried to get a topic from each of our technology areas. So we started out with design, and we got design best practices in surface finishing and complex thermal management applications. From material, we have relationships of defects and microstructure to fatigue properties in AM materials. In process, we have innovation in rapid tooling by a novel additive manufacturing process chain. In value chain, we have demonstration of combined methods and frameworks of in-situ inspection, ex-situ inspection, and process monitoring to ensure quality of parts in AM processes. In our AM genome swim lane, we have characterization of transient phenomena impacting in-situ molten pool temperature measurement for AM of reactive metals. And in our EWD area, we have AM material safety. So this will be materials like polymers, resin, powdered metals. So it's not just metals; it's metals, and polymers and resins in this topic. So we're looking at safety, including at a minimum procurement, storage, use, production, and disposal. So we want to see the whole life cycle of material safety. Okay, let's get into the open project call schedule. So the project call was announced and it was posted to the America Makes website on 7/25. Here we are today on August 1st at the kickoff webinar. Questions from proposers about the scope or approach will be due on August 4th. That's just 3 days from now. So if you have questions, please get them in. And then responses to your questions will be posted to the America Makes website under the open project call on the 2nd of September. If you do need to have a fully executed NDA with NCDMM, you'll have to have that in place by September 2nd. And then full project proposal submissions are due on September 16th. September 16th. We anticipate to have a decision and to notify the project teams on the 17th of October. And then we want to have all projects on contract and work being done by November 9th. And then all projects must be finalized. All reports, deliverables have to be submitted no later than June 9th, 2023. There are no extensions on these projects, just like our past RICs and our past open project calls. These are a set period of time. There are no extensions on these. I can't stress that strongly enough. Let's get to our funding overview. We are anticipating 4 awards. The total federal funding available, and this is not per award, is $1,200,000. And like I said, we're anticipating 4 awards at $300,000 each. So that's $300,000 per awards, and we anticipate 4. So the cost share is going to be 50%, of the federal award amount requested per proposal. So if you ask for $1, you will need to put up 50 cents of cost share to match that. The maximum allowed period of performance is 7 months. That breaks up into 5 months of execution and 2 months for reporting. That's, review and revision of your final report and your review and revision of final deliverables. And like I said before, there are no extensions on these projects, so they will not even be considered. All right, the minimum deliverables for these projects are, of course, a written final report. And like I said earlier, it'll need at least one round of revision with your NCDM MPM prior to final submission. And like I said, that's due on or before June 9th. You will have at least one presentation to the membership. It'll either be a TRX or a webinar. We prefer TRX presentations. Live presentations are best. And then you'll be responsible for monthly financial and man-hour reports. And the lead organization will need to participate in at least one working group, advisory group, or steering committee that is relevant to the subject matter of the project. So if it's a materials project, you can do the materials working group as an example. They will also need to do one presentation to the working group in the beginning of the project, outlining deliverables, CDIP, KPPs, and the data management plan within 60 days of the project start. And we've got really great feedback on this from the project team so far. They get a lot of great feedback from our working groups, and that's what they're there for. And then you'll have to do one presentation to the working group at the end of the project, going over those same things and looking at what we can do in the future. So another deliverable, just like on all our other projects, is a data management plan, key performance parameters, planned project deliverables list with corresponding either existing or new technology or education and workforce development roadmap requirements. It's very important that those KPPs and those deliverables are linked to those requirements. And we would like to have a draft in your proposal at least, and then we want to have a final of those in the first 60 days after the project started. Okay, and then a new requirement that we did add on the last round of open project calls, and will be on this one as well, is that the lead organization will pull a deliverable or a report from the digital storefront, and they will do a review of that deliverable using FAIR principles: findable, accessible, interoperable, and reusable. And they'll just give us a short either PowerPoint or a short written explanation of how easy was it to take that deliverable and use it to repeat the work, or is everything there that you would need to repeat that work. And then that just is presented to a small group. Okay, so there are some proposal and contracting updates this time around. So executive summaries must contain information which is publicly releasable and proprietary. This aids America Makes when we do our public release process and we announce the awards in the okay, and also when it comes to cost, there's no fee allowed. Also, your cover page will have to include your DUNS and your cage code. We're also asking that each team takes the subrecipient agreement that is at the end of the RFP, review that, redline it, and submit it with the proposal. This helps us to expedite contracting and to get the project kicked off faster. If you have not redlined and submitted that, we are going to take that as agreement upon reward. And if it takes too long to get agreement on the subrecipient agreement, and if we have to, we will cancel the award. No one wants to do that. Okay, moving on. Our second project call we're going to be going over, and this is the rapid innovation call for topics. So we're not announcing a project call or releasing a project call at that time. What we're asking for is topics. So the immediate call for topics was released on 7/25. Like I said, today we're at our kickoff webinar. The due date for topics is on 8/26. So please, get with your teams and get those topics in. A great opportunity that is coming up is MMX. So we hope to see you at MMX. You can come, you can work on building teams, or you can work on, maybe talking about topics, and that is a great opportunity to get one submitted. So then we'll have the roadmap advisory group presenting those topics to the executive committee to decide which topics will move forward. That will be on the 27th of September. And then when we figure out which topics we want to move forward, we will write the RFP, and then we will announce and post that rapid innovation call on October 3rd of 22. We'll have another project call kickoff webinar to go over everything on the 10th of October. Your questions will be due on October 13th. Our responses will be posted on October 19th. And then if you do need to join America Makes to submit to this project call, you'll need to do so by the 21st. So you have a lot of time from now until then. And then if you do need a fully executed NDA, that's also due by the 21st of October. And then your full project proposals will be due on November 4th of 2022. We will make a decision and notify teams by the 30th. And we anticipate that all projects will be on contract by January 1st of 2023. And then all final reports and deliverables must be submitted no later than June 1st, 2023. So we hope to see your topics coming in, and then we hope to see your proposals submitted when that project call is due. All right, moving on. Our next project call is a different type of project call. So this is not a rapid innovation call or an open project call. So this one is generation of additive material allowables for TIE 6.4 or GAMAT. So for this project call, only the lead proposer must be a member. And this is a one-step response, full proposal, so there is no white paper. And this is our normal proposal length. Okay, let's go over the schedule quickly. So the project call was announced and posted on the 25th of July. Questions from proposers about scope or approach will be due by August 4th. So like I said, that's just in 3 days. So that's coming up quick. So please get those questions in. Our responses to your questions will be posted by August 10th. And then, the deadline to be a America Makes member will be August 15th. So if you do need to gain membership, please get on that now. A fully executed NDA is due by the 15th. So if you need to get one of those, please, get an email out and we can get that done for you. And then your full project proposals will be due on the 29th of August. We anticipate to make a decision and notify proposing teams by the 9th of September. And then we want to have all projects we want to have that project on contract by November 1st of 22. All right, a little bit of background and our objective. So qualification, it remains a major barrier to the broad adoption of AM machines and materials. One of those biggest gaps is widely accepted and available design data. There are some existing organizational or proprietary databases, but the amount of publicly available design data for AM is severely lacking still. So, it's really needed across government and industry to support that broader adoption of AM. So here comes this project. Laser powder feed directed energy deposition process specific project with results in a set of publicly available, statistically substantiated bulk material property data with a corresponding material and process specification. So moving on to some of the requirements, and I'm just going to read through these requirements because there are a lot of them and they are very specific. I'm not going to get real deep. I'm just going to read them at a high level. All of these requirements are available in the RFP, which can be downloaded from our website. So approaches in response to the GAMAT project call shall address the following, and these are minimum requirements, so these must be done. You will need to establish and manage a public steering committee comprising relevant subject matter experts from government, industry, and academia. Identify publicly available material and process specifications for laser DED tie 64 or other material or another process that can be publicly released. Provide a summary of existing and past work on the material process combination with an explanation of what and how that data will be leveraged for this project. Generate a draft material and process specification and physically validate material and process tolerances according to specification, methods, and requirements. You'll also need to develop a test matrix and execute a test plan, and conduct a government technical team review and obtain consensus of initial test matrix and test plan prior to executing B basis and or A basis test matrices. Okay, so requirements moving forward, continued. So you'll need to do methods and plans for generating and inspecting test coupons, an execution plan for testing, analyzing, and delivering B-basis material allowables using virgin powder via a mature laser powder-based DED process. So if you look underneath this bullet in particular, minimum tests shall include tensile, compression, shear, bearing, fatigue, modulus, fatigue, crack growth, fracture toughness, coefficient of thermal expansion, thermal diffusivity, specific heat, density. There are quite a few of testing requirements that go along with this. Delivery and reporting of raw data curves and all test information and properties defined in the relevant testing specification, including information listed as available upon request. So all of this must be available to the membership upon request. None of this will be proprietary. So like I said, it has to be listed as available upon request. We need to define a powder reuse strategy for future work and execute a review by the Public Steering Committee and government technical team. Okay, requirements continued. You will need to conduct a review of B-basis allowable results to obtain consensus, acceptance by the government technical team. Conduct refinement of the test matrix and test plan before proceeding to A-basis allowable delivery once reviewed and approved by the government technical team. Generate and inspect coupons and complete A-basis equivalent allowables for tensile, compression, shear, bearing properties using and comparing multiple statistical methods. The team will need to conduct and complete an investigation of powder reuse per definition. And the project team will need to conduct a government technical team review of A-basis allowable results and obtain acceptance by government technical team. Tractography analysis of a subset of test bars and correlation with NDI data, including preliminary assessment of the effect of material anomalies. And report test lab certifications as part of initial approach and describe a plan to obtain the government technical team's consensus no later than 3 months after award. And I want to go over this last bullet again because it's very important. So these test lab certifications must be submitted with your proposal. So keep that in mind when you're putting your proposal together. Okay, so I'm not sure. I think this was supposed to be updated, but we are only anticipating one award at this time, and that is going to be for $3 million. It does have a 25% cost share, and we're looking at a period of performance of 25 months. That will be 22 months execution and 3 months of reporting. All right, let's talk about eligibility a little bit. So on this one, like I said, the lead proposer must be a current member of America Makes in good standing by Monday, August 15th. Excuse me, by Monday, August 15th. And just a note on cost share, just like on any other project, cost share accrued in this project, it can be applied towards membership. However, cost share proposed on a future project cannot be counted towards a new America Makes membership. So if you do want to become a member by that deadline, you'll have to commit to a cash payment or complete an at program MOU, a memorandum of understanding, that you will pay for that membership either in cash or by at program to become a member. So, like I said, there is a 25% cost share required for each project submission. And an example of that, like I said earlier, if $1 of funding is requested, you will need to put in a quarter for a total of $1.25. The lead proposer is fully responsible for all project and subcontract performance. And the lead proposer must be registered in the U.S. System for Award Management, SAMS, and have a cage code and DUNS number before submitting a proposal. The proposing team acknowledges that information from this project call will be shared with America Makes members in accordance with the membership agreement. I want to stress that again. The proposing team acknowledges that information from this project will be shared with America Makes members in accordance with the membership agreement. And in your proposal, all of the proposal team arrangements must be identified and relationships must be fully disclosed. So if you have a member of the team who is only a powder supplier and they are not going to be on the monthly meetings, please explain that in your proposal as an example. Okay, proposal and contracting information. So like on our open project call, executive summaries must contain information that is publicly releasable and non-proprietary. There's no fee allowed. And your cover page must include your DUNS and your cage code. And like I said, on this, we have an extra exhibit, so please pay special attention to that. Listing of all test lab certifications and pertinent test lab qualification details must be in your proposal at the time of submission. All right, thank you very much. And now we'll get to your questions. Okay, I see we have some questions in the chat and in the Q&A. I'm going to start with the chat. The first one, will this presentation be made available? Yes, like I said in the beginning, some of you may have joined late. This presentation will be available on our America Makes webpage. On the project call page, there will be a link to download this live webinar. Okay, another question. Let's see. Okay, does the 50% cost share apply to potential projects coming from the Rapid Innovation Call as well? So on our Rapid Innovation Call, it's a little bit different. So the cost share can be 0 or 25% depending on who submitted the topic. So I guess the answer would be no. The 50% cost share does not apply to the Rapid Innovation Call. The most that could be is 25%. But you'll just have to pay attention, to the website, pay attention to our press releases. And when that Rapid Innovation Call comes out, you can see exactly which topics have which levels of cost share. Okay. All right. What does no fee allowed mean? All right, Alex, maybe you could help me out with this one, or John. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention Joining me today is Alexander Steeb, our Director of Operations, John Wilczynski, and Josh Kramer,
John, I'll leave it up
Director
to
of
you.
EWD. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. No fee allowed means, since this specific project call, in fact, all two project calls in the call for topic runs through our cooperative agreement. That agreement is structured as a no fee agreement, and as such, any proposer or any project teams cannot propose any fee on these projects. John, do you have anything to add?
Nope. And this is just for, I guess I do have something to add. Just to be clear, this is no different than any project to date over the years at the Institute. It is effectively a rule associated with the cooperative agreement that funds the institute, or that the Institute funding runs through, or at least this specific project is run through. So it is, to be clear, no different than any past project. But for those of you, if this happens to be new or you have not proposed in the past, it's very similar to a grant, if you're familiar with proposing to those. And in most cases, do not allow for fee either.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. So another question we're getting is whether this is related to another project that we have running right now. I don't know if you want to take that one, John, if there's anything you could share.
What is the specific question? Just, is it
they're
related to
asking,
it?
yeah, they're asking us if this is related to the NIAR task or the NIAR project that is running right now.
So I'm assuming the question is specifically for the last project called GAMAT.
Yes, I'm sorry.
It is not directly related to that program. It is looking at the same material, yes, different process. The program that is currently being managed and run at NIAR, which is referred to as GAMAT, is also TIE 6.4, but it is a powder bed fusion process that is being investigated there. So it is not related per se, although there are, some similarities as far as this expected or desired outcomes. They are both looking to gather or to generate data that can be shared. So in that way, they are similar, but that they're not connected per se.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's a question that came. Just to confirm, all organizations in the proposing team have to be AM members to participate in the open project call. So to participate in the open, so to receive federal funding, you have to be an America Makes member. So if there is a organization that would like to be a member, and they want to say give powder for for cost share to become a member, then they can be a part of the team, but they cannot be on the monthly meetings, and there has to be a firewall, so they can't be, if there's a share folder, they can't have access to that share folder. So if the member of the team is going to receive federal funding, they must be a member. If they are not a member, then the information has to be firewalled. I hope I answered that. If I didn't answer that fully, please send the question in, and I can get that answered for you. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to go through. We got quite a few questions that were very, very similar, so I want to make sure I get through and answer the questions that we have not answered. Okay, so here's another. I found another one here. The GAMAT project call is very specific. Was this project call a result of a topic call like the rapid project call? No, this was not, this did not come about like that. So, okay, so let me see. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I answer this question. So, if the leading proposer is academia, is the investigator's time commitment eligible as cost share? Yes, yes. That is eligible. I'm not sure if the proposal writing process is eligible, but I know during the project it is eligible. Okay, someone said, I thought I saw somebody say the cost share thing is not clear. Any extension for the proposal submission date? No, we cannot extend the submission date. Okay, so here's another question just came in. The no fee thing is still not clear. What is an example of a fee? Alex or John, could you help out with maybe an example of a fee? I'm trying to, that's not my area of expertise.
So I'll give my explanation. Alex, you're more familiar with the actual finance side of things than I am, but you know, a fee is effectively a profit that you are making. So in some contracts, you are able to include a X% profit or fee associated with doing the work. That is not permitted for this type of agreement. Very similar to how grants are typically structured. So it is effectively, you are able to charge for the work that is done on specifically on the project and execution of work and purchase of materials and things of that nature. But you are not able to include a, you know, if you were to propose something that was $100, you could not say, I'm going to actually, if it cost you $100 to do it, you cannot say, I am going to charge 100 plus N, which would be fee in this case, and submit that as your cost. It is not permitted on the contractual agreement.
All right, thank you very much, John. I hope that answered your question. Like I said earlier, if it hasn't, you know, please send it in, and we will get that answered for you. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm seeing a lot of financial questions coming in, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get those to our finance department, and we will post the answers to your questions to the America Makes webpage under the project call. All right, so let's see. We got one more here. So might need a little help on this one, John, if you have if you know. If not, we might have to get the question on the website. With regards to A and B basis data, how does this compare to the C and D values the MMPDS has evolved for powder bed techniques?
I am not equipped to answer that. We can get an official answer, and I know a couple of the folks who are much more familiar with that are on, but are not in a position where they have permission to talk because of WebEx does not grant that. So I can't even call out people from the audience who probably know that answer, but we can get to you the specific answer to that question. I can't see that one here, but and I'm assuming it has to do with quantities of samples, etc. So we can, as long as we get it captured, we can get it answered, but I do not know the answer.
All right, thanks, John. Yeah, I did see some other questions about number of sites and machines, things like that. I think we can get those up, we can get those answered and get those posted to the website here in a couple of days. So I think that's all the questions I see here. I think most of the other questions we've already answered through our other answers. So like I said, this presentation will be posted to the America Makes webpage either later today or tomorrow. It'll be available for download. Please go download the RFPs for these project calls and get your topics in for the Rapid Innovation Call. And also, we hope to see you at MMX, where you can build your project teams and talk about submitting topics for the RIC. Thank you very much, and everyone have a great day.